mean, it combines a couple of things I really like, and that is the city and tourism, talking about the city, and making images too. And the image that is going to go on this right now blank wall will be a combination of two photos. So there'll be a historic photo of looking down Caroline Street. So if you're standing kind of near Gulrich's and looking down Caroline Street, and then there's a modern day version of it as well. And those two photos are morphed together and to show kind of the history of what Caroline Street looked like in 1909, and that image came from the Central Rappahannock Heritage Center, and then Ramey Chapman, a local photographer, shot one just last month. So it's present day, the past, mixed together, and it's going to be a lot of fun on this wall. So visitors can come in, see sort of the continuum of history, and then residents too. I mean, I think everybody will find something in there. There'll be stores that, you know, maybe their grandparents remember, might be, you know, facades that are familiar to all of us today as well as in the past. So it'll be a nice combination, nice way to show. And it does say, hello from Fredericksburg, Virginia. So if you are a visitor and you need like some proof that you are here,
take a picture.
You can take a picture in front of it. And, you know, not a lot of people send physical postcards anymore, so maybe it's your selfie in front of this, and that becomes, you know, the postcard that you send. So it has, you know, a vintage feel, but also a modern feel, but hopefully will be, you know, a gathering spot for people who come to visit. But yeah, I mean, it's emblematic of, you know, kind of the story that we're telling, that there's a lot of layers to Fredericksburg, a lot of history, and, you know, we all play our small part, and it's nice to see the actual people in those images too.
Yeah.
And you can kind of put yourself in there, and like, these people walk down the street, now I'm walking down the street, I'm part of the story. So it's a nice shorthand way to talk about sort of the continuum of Fredericksburg history. You're in this brand new space, but you're looking at kind of an old photo, but yet it feels natural, like you know, you feel a part of the history.
Technically, was it difficult to do?
Yes. So designing something that's going to be so big, you know, I did it on the computer, so it's going to be on a smaller screen.
Yeah.
But knowing that it's going to be, you know, 15 feet wide, you know, just kind of scaling up from that small size to the large size. There's also a lot of like technical blending in things, because you're using an old image that you know, was shot with a little different camera technology than currently. So getting all of that to match up, and Ramey Chapman was very helpful in sort of setting the stage. She took the new photo and kind of aligning things. Because you know, the camera technology has changed, even if the facades have not. I mean, it's a long time in the making, so the fact that it's finally here, there's definitely like an excitement about it. A little bit of a nervousness too, just because there's some like, you know, mechanical things, technical things. I want to make sure I did everything right so that the installer has the smoothest job possible. He's doing a fantastic job. So yeah, and seeing it at the size it is, because I'm used to looking at it again like on a smaller screen, and to see it life size. I think this mural is going to be 28, 30 something feet wide. So like that's a big scale change from seeing it on the screen. This is in the lobby where either you walk in off of Caroline Street, or from the parking garage into the elevator lobby. So this is going to wrap around 3 walls, so you're going to be able to see it as you enter the building, and then also as you wait for the elevators. And there's kind of, you know, I think of it like 3 audiences for this, right? You have the people coming into the visitor center who might not be familiar with the city, so they can glimpse it. You have residents who, you know, come to city center to do business, you know, they want to register to vote, they need a building permit, so they're going to come in here. So you have the occasional visitor, but then you have employees who work in this building who, you know, are going to be looking at this for a very long time, at least twice a day. And so making it a dynamic sort of view of the city that they can find their favorite things in there, and hopefully, you know, every time they're waiting for the elevator, they turn around, they look at it, maybe they find something different that they like about it. So there's a lot, I don't want to say hidden in here, but there's a lot going on. This is a pretty dynamic composition, and that's really because of the kind of space that it's in and the people who will be seeing it. And as well, during the day, the sun is going to rise at at one end and come through the windows, set at the other end. So throughout the day, there's going to be some dynamism with the kind of lighting in here. Because this was an existing space, there was no mural here, I was able to kind of like absorb it during different times of the day to see people come through and how they use it, and just kind of walk and kind of soak up some ideas. And it really was, this was one of those that was, it started with the space. It started with the shape of it and what could fit on it, rather than the program of like, I want to show this and I'm going to cram it into this space. More like, what does this space need? What is it asking for? And that was one of the things that the city wanted to include, was a nod to the sister cities. And since we're talking about travel and tourism and visiting, I thought, why not show it in a way, kind of like those vintage steamer trunks where you get stickers from different locations.
Yeah.
So I designed a sticker for each sister city and did some research online of, what makes those cities special, and tried to think, like, envision, like, what would it look like if that city were to have a vintage travel sticker. So I made one for each one, and then they're gathered together. And the cool thing about the visitor centers is we like to talk about what Fredericksburg does differently, what makes us special, and any place that has a visitor center talks about what makes them unique. But the Sister Cities program is sort of about what is the commonality worldwide. Like, it's about connections. It's about finding sort of common cultural the personality of places, but that were all linked sort of globally. So it was this kind of fun foil to, why is Fredericksburg unique, to how do we kind of fit in our global community.